Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I was just gonna do. Anyway. Where did I stop?
Page 125.
Page 125. We were doing text 8F, right? 8F is important.
Yes,
Yes. Okay. We have already read the introduction part, so please read it again. Text 8F is so that you will know what you are going to do. Read text 8F. We have already read it yesterday.
Yes. As 8F is a short story extract. In the extract, Nicola disobeys his parents and visits the forbidden number room in the attic, where he discovers an airy or exotic theme from faraway places.
So I let you read quickly yesterday. So today I will read together with you now. Read the first one.
Yes. The king turned stifling in the lock, but instead the door opened and Nicola was in an unknown land.
Okay. The key turned stiffly in the lock. Turn stiffly. When you put the key into the keyhole, if it is not opened easily because of the rust, and it is called stiffly, it means that the lock is old and it cannot be opened easily. Got it? So the key turns stiffly in the lock. It means the door cannot be opened easily because of the rusty. Because of the rust, the lock is rusty. So stiffly means not easily opened. The door opened and Nicholas was in an unknown land. The door opened, right? But it was opened and Nicholas was in an unknown land. So it seems that that place was a new place for him because it is an unknown land. It says like that. So highlight. Turn stiffly. It means the door cannot be opened easily. Unknown land, highlight. Okay, let's continue. Second paragraph. Read.
Often and often Nicola had pictured to himself what the lumber room might be like, that region that was so carefully sealed from youthful eyes, and concerning which no questions were ever answered. It came to his expectations. In the fireplace it was large and dimly lit, one high window opening into the forbidden garden being its only source in illumination. In the assembly, it was a storehouse or unit. What that? UNI
Store it.
storehouse.
Wait, it was a which one will we do? It was large, dimly lit, one high window. That one
Oh,
illumination,
yes,
illumination, large and dimly lit, one high window opening onto the forbidden garden, being its only source of illumination.
in the second place, it was too how or yeah, at that one, UNIMEGINED.
Or an imagined treasures.
And imagine treasures.
Hmm.
Such parts of the house as Nicola knew best were weather pale and cheerless, but here there were wonderful things for the eye to feast on. Uh, First and foremost, there was a piece of burnt tapestry that was evidently meant to be a fire screen. To Nicola, it was a lively, pretty story. He sat down on a row of Indian hangings, glory in wonderful colors, beneath a layer of dust, and took in all the detail of that tapestry picture.
Hmm. Often and often, Nicholas had pictured to himself. So Nicola, Nicholas imagined that room on his own, what the lumber room might be like, what that secret room might be like. It means what the lumber room might be like. That region that was so carefully sealed from youthful eyes, that place was carefully sealed. So it means that that room was closed carefully. Seal means close from youthful eyes and concerning which no questions were ever answered. It means whenever he asks about that room, his parents didn't answer about that. So he was curious to know about that room. It means like that. It came up to his expectations. Highlight. The first one that you need to highlight is uh pictured. So he had pictured to himself. Highlight, he had pictured to himself means he imagined about that room on his own. And next one is it came up to his expectations. You know, he expected that there would be something strange in the room. As he expected, there were a lot of valuable stuff. That is called it came up to his expectations. It came up to his expectations. And then after that, so it is arranged in order. The first one is in the first place. In the first place. In the first place. So it means, you know, the writer is describing in order. In the first place, it was large and dimly lit. Dimly lit means that it is not bright. The room, the room was not bright, it was dimly lit. Dim light. One high window opening onto the forbidden garden. Highlight forbidden garden. B is all source of illumination. So the room is the room is not very bright. The light comes from 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 the garden through the high window. So it is one high window opening onto the forbidden garden. B is only source of illumination. Illumination means light. The light comes from the high window. That is all. That is for the first place. And after that, the writer shows the second place. In the second place, oh, it cannot be open. It was a storehouse of an imagined treasure. The second one is, and there is an imagined treasure. Highlight an imagined treasure. So it means that there are a lot of treasures. It cannot be imagined. That is called an imagined treasure. Such parts of the house as Nicholas knew best were rather bare and cheerless. But here there were wonderful things for the eyes to feast on. Such parts of the house as Nicholas knew best were rather bare and cheerless. So the parts that he knew were not that interesting. But in this room, there were many wonderful things. So you need to highlight there were wonderful things for the eye to feast on. For the eyes to feast on means many wonderful things to look. Many wonderful things to look. That is called many wonderful things to feast on. Can I share this? Oh, can you see? Can you
Yes.
see my share screen? Okay. So many wonderful things to feast on. It for the eye to feast on me. Many wonderful things to see. Yeah, some beautiful words. Wonderful things for the eye to feast on. And another expression is first and foremost. First and foremost means the first one and also the important one. The first thing, the first important thing is that way. This is a linking expression. There was a piece of framed tapestry that was evidently meant to be a fire screen. So it means that a piece of framed tapestry. Tapestry. Tapestry means like the picture made of cloth. The picture made of cloth. So the first thing he noticed was a piece of framed tapestry. And next one, to Nicholas, it was a living, breathing story. So that tapestry is quite amazing and really enjoyable. It is called a living, breathing story. So what did he do? He sat down on a roll of Indian hangings. Another one is Indian hangings, pictures, and also glowing in wonderful colors, beneath a layer of dust, and took in all the details of the tapestry picture. So it is about tapestry, the pictures made of cloth. The pictures made of cloth. So in this paragraph, you need to learn these. There are some beautiful words you should learn. Okay, let's continue. Next, later I will, based on this writing, I will let you do writing. So please listen carefully and learn how to write. Key, will you please read? There were other objects of delight. Key, are you ready? You can go on.
There were other objects of delight, and interest claiming its instant attention. Here were quite twisted, candlestick, can, candlestick in the shape of snakes, and a teapot fashioned like a china dish, out of whose open beak the tea was supposed to come. Dull and shapeless, the necessary teapot seen in comparison and there was a carved sandalwood box, packed tight with aromatic cotton wool, and between the layer of cotton wool were little brass figures, ham nut balls, and peacocks and goblins, delightful to see and to handle as promising in a
Wait, stop. The light pole to see and to handle. Up to that. Okay, I will read up. There were other objects of delight and interest claiming his instant attention. Very nice. Here, highlight. There were other objects. You want to introduce the new thing, so you should write that way. Other objects of delight and interest claiming his instant attention. It means that there are many things, there are many other things that can draw his attention. There are many interesting things, it means. The first one here, look at a list. So you could see colon, and here were quaint twisted candlesticks. The first one is candlesticks in the shape of snakes. So the first thing is about candlesticks. They are in the shape of snakes. And the second one is a teapot, fashioned like a china duck. You could see the picture. That is a teapot. So how to describe it in detail? Fashioned like a china duck, out of whose open beak the tea was supposed to come. So in this case here, you could see like the tea was supposed, out of whose open beak the tea was supposed to come, right? So it is about a teapot. Up to that is about a teapot. How dull and shapeless the nursery teapot seemed in comparison. So Nicholas compared with the teapot that he used in nursery. At the time, it was not interesting. Shapeless means the shape was quite simple, it means. But this teapot is really interesting. Really interesting. It is like a china duck. And there was a carved sandalwood box. Another one is a box made of sandalwood. You know sandalwood? The sacred wood. Do you know sandalwood? How do you understand my sandalwood? Sandalwood. Sandalwood နဲ့လောက်ထားတဲ့တစ်တာ. So a carved sandalwood box, packed tight with aromatic cotton wool. So in that sandalwood, packed tight means closed tightly with aromatic cotton wool. So there is some cotton wool made of aromatic means nice smell. Aromatic means nice smell. Some cotton wool which has nice smell. And between the layers of cotton wool were little brass figures. And between the cotton wool, there were little brass figures. Figures mean like statues made of brass. Statues made of brass. And hand-necked bulls. Hand-necked bulls means, you know, the statues of bulls. The figures of bulls. Which are humps. The bulls have humps. Do you know humps? How do you understand my humps? The camels, you know, camels have got humps. You know the meaning of humps?
Yes.
Do you know humps? What does it mean?
Where the camel stores but
Yes, correct. And peacocks and goblins. So there are some small statues in the box like peacocks, ham-necked bulls, that way. And also goblins. You know goblins? What is the
Yes.
meaning of goblins? How do you understand my goblins? How do you understand my goblins in Burmese?
Oxygen.
Huh?
Túi nhiều by oxygen there.
No. Mensa. You know the ghosts, monsters, goblins. Tayem means lady. Like this. And there are some images. And he was delightful to see and to handle. It means that all the things are delightful to see, means really interesting to look at, and also to touch. Handle means touch. Really interesting to look at and touch. It means like that. Okay, next, read. Less promising in appearance. Go reading.
Less promising in appearance was a large square book with plain black covers. Nicola peeped into it, and behold, it was full of colored pictures of bats, and such bats in the garden and in the land. When he went for a walk, Nicola came across a few bats, of which the largest were on occasional magpie or wood penguin. Here were herons and bustards, pikes, toucans, tiger pigeons, red turkeys, uh, I, IBIS. How can I put
Wood pigeons. Here were the herons, ambassadors, kites, toucans, tiger pigeons, brush turkeys, ibises,
ibises, Korean
and
peasants, a whole portrait
portrait
gallery or and
and dream
dreams of creatures. And as he was admiring the colour of the Mandarin text and assigning a life history to
history to
it,
it.
the voice of his at it
Shrill
voice
vociferation.
separation or his name came from the gooseberry garden without.
Hmm. So the last line from the previous page, it says like less promising in appearance was a large square book. So it means that the thing that is not that interesting was a book with plain black covers. So a book with black cover. And Nicholas peeped into it. So peep is another word for peep is looked. Look into it. And behold means see. It was full of colored pictures of birds. So in that book, he saw some colorful pictures of birds. Which birds? So yeah, and such birds in the garden and in the lane when he went for a walk. So he has ever seen those birds while going for a walk. It means like that. Nicholas came across a few birds, of which the largest were an occasional magpie or wood pigeon. Here were herons and bustards, kites, toucans, tiger pigeons, brush turkeys, ibises, border pheasants, a whole portrait gallery of and dreamed of creatures. Up to border pheasants, they all are birds, different types of birds. You are given a list of birds and a whole portrait gallery of and dream of creatures. So and also the other some and dream of creatures means some strange creatures. Some the pictures of strange creatures. They all are about pictures. And as he was admiring the gallery of the Mandarin duck, so while he was looking at the color of the Mandarin means Chinese duck. Admiring means like, while he was looking at the color of the mandarin duck, assigning a life history to it, it means thinking about the history of those pictures. At the time, what happened? The voice of his aunt in shrill vociferation of his name. At the time, his aunt called him out loudly. Vociferation of his name. So it means that his friend called him out. Came from the gooseberry garden without. So it means that came from the garden. So his aunt called him out from the garden. That way. So there are many beautiful expressions and some phrases. You need to use these expressions directly in your writing. I will let you I will let you do writing later. So before I let you do that task, I want to discuss number 13. In this activity, you will consider the effect on the reader of text HF. So the first one, I want to discuss 13A. You need to read.
In this activity, what inspiration do you get of the character of Nicola from Task A5? Give reason.
What impression do you get of the character of Nicholas from text HF? So what impression do you get? Through this story, what do you think of Nicholas? It means, to make it simple, you need to give the characters of Nicholas. Tell me about Nicholas. You know the story. In general, Nicholas is the name of a boy who was curious to know about the secret room. So one day he went into the secret room in the attic and he saw many beautiful and interesting things. That's all. So through that story, what impression do you get of the character of Nicholas? In my opinion, Nicholas is say like that. Hey, participate. I can give you the answer directly. So you will forget it easily. You must think.
Nicola will be excitement and
Examine is feeling. I want his character. For example, I think Nicola is described also. Described is described as brave because he was alone. He was alone in the secret room. So in general, he is brave. And what else? Brave. He is curious. Curious. That is why he secretly went into the room. So he is very curious. Brave, curious, and what else? Nicholas is described as a brave, curious, and Any other word? Can you give me another adjective?
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic is quite similar to curious. Enthusiastic, correct? How about enthusiastic? Why? Or maybe you could say like adventurous. I think Nicholas is described as a brave, curious, enthusiastic, adventurous one in the story. So you need to give reason for that. Why do you think he is brave? Why do you think he is brave? Hey, why do you think he is brave? Hmm? You have already learned this story because he could go into the secret room alone. So it means that he is brave. And he is curious. Yeah, as he was curious, he he went to the secret room. That is why he was curious, brave, curious, enthusiastic. How will you describe it?
He entered the secret room
And
and
he
fearlessly
fearlessly, and he touched things right carefully, and he learned things carefully in the room. So it is enthusiastic. He wanted to know things, right? That is why he looked at things carefully. So it is called enthusiastic. Okay, 13A, only this. If you are asked like what impression do you get of the character of Nicholas, you must say like, I think Nicholas is described as a brave, curious, and enthusiastic one. Okay, this time I want to discuss this. Number 14, read these three.
What impression do you get of the character of his aunt from the comments about her and her health in the passage?
No, I won't do B and C. I will do 14.
Oh yes. One copy of test ASAP, circle the following and explain how they are being used. Small h,
Yes.
colons and semicolons.
Colons, semicolons, and then
Hyphens and to begin a sentence.
yes. So the first one, colons, semicolons, hyphens. Let's discuss. Go to the first page. In the first paragraph, do you see colon, semicolon, hyphen? Come on, say. Do you see any hyphen, semicolon?
Oh yes.
Where? I mean, in the first paragraph.
Or not in
No.
the first paragraph, in the second paragraph.
Yes, second paragraph. First of all, we will go orderly. What do you see? Let's talk about hyphen. What do you see, hyphen?
In the second sentence.
What?
Lumber room.
Lumber room. What else?
We
are talking about hyphens.
And a fire screen.
Where fire screen?
In first and foremost, there was a piece of fun that was evidently meant to be a fire screen.
Oh yeah, fire screen. And then what else?
That's our second paragraph.
Mm.
Sandalwood pouch,
Yes, sandalwood box. What else?
cotton wool,
Cotton wool. Wait, let's go. Cotton wool. And then
ham necked,
ham-necked spools.
that's
Yeah. How about second paragraph?
blue penguin,
Wood pigeons.
pigeon, tiger pigeons,
What else?
entering a creature,
And then
life history,
and what else? And dream of life history. Okay, they are hyphenated words. And let's talk about colon and semicolon. So in this paragraph, do you see any colon? In
in the second paragraph.
See.
Wait,
Colon and semicolon. Let's learn together.
yes. To Nicola, it was a lively, pretty story. And semicolon, he sat down and wrote Indian hanky.
Oh, yeah. Living, breathing story. And here, semicolon. He sat down on a row of Indian hangings, comma, and another one, glorying and test like this. How about the last part?
Instant attention.
Which paragraph?
Second paragraph. Oh no, sorry, third paragraph.
That paragraph. So here, actually the introduction of the objects of delight and interest claiming his instant attention. You are going to, when you describe the list of things, you can use colon. After that, you can describe each item separately using semicolon. So here, colon, And then here, semicolon or comma. So in the passage, the writer uses comma, but instead of comma, you can put semicolon. Anything else? How about next page? How about next page?
No.
Oh, yes. Here. Square book with plain black covers. Yeah. The two sentences are closely related and you can use semicolon. All right. How about the sentences with and? In general, we don't use those sentences. Sentences starting with and. It is not nice. But in this writing, to show a suspense, you could see the sentence says starting with and. In the second paragraph, first paragraph, no. How about in the second paragraph? Do you see the sentence beginning with and?
Yes,
And the
and
end.
there was a cup sender, Rufus,
And yes. Any other? How about third paragraph? Oh, third paragraph, right? And there was. Correct? Any other? Another and. Next paragraph.
next page, and such bus.
Yeah, and such words. Any other and?
And as he was admiring the color of the main trip.
Yes. So let's do next part. Emergent ratios. Okay. Here, the writing task for everyone. This is important for exam. Everybody must write and hand in through Viva. Here, what 200 words. Please hand in. It is important. 200 words. You can take reference from 8F. You can take reference from 8F and another one is 7A. 7A, please look back, 7A. 7A is about finding the blind king. Please look at finding the blind king. Do you see that?
Yes.
You can read it carefully. It is about the things that the archaeologists saw in the chamber. And you can get ideas and you can take some sentences. And also some sentences from this text 8F. So combine with your ideas, you need to write this. Please read the question. You can read. Plan and write your own descriptive piece.
Plan and write your own descriptive piece. Was about a page beginning. It was a storehouse or an imaginative treasure. First read the key point tip on the next page to help you.
So you need to start with this. Everybody must start with this sentence. It was a storehouse of an imagined treasures. And the rest, you need to imagine. You need to create your own, create things. But You can use some sentences from 7a and 8f. You need to write the similar passage like 7a and 8f. You can create things. For example, like in 8f, you have learned the tapestry picture, sandalwood box, and you can change those things. Okay, do you know what to do?
Yes.
How many words do you have to write?
200 words.
200 words. And you can separate the paragraphs. At least there must be about three paragraphs. At least 3 paragraphs.
Yes.
At least 3 paragraphs. And if you have no ideas, you can read 7, 8, and 8F. You will get idea. Use some expressions from those 2 passages. There are many beautiful expressions. In the first place, in the second place, make your writing interesting. You need to write about discovering things, interesting things in the storehouse. That's all. Got it?
Yes.
It is writing assignment. Hand in through Viber. Do you use Viber or email? Which one do you prefer?
Fiverr.
Okay, Viber. Or for Viber, you need to type. You cannot send me the photograph. So for the exam, for writing, you could prepare unit 1 about fire. At the time, I let you write one. I let you do one writing. Do you remember? You could prepare one from unit 1, page 14. Describe a huge raging inferno of the description. Inferno, a local building in flames, or a fire in a domestic fireplace. You need to create a fire, right? 200 words. And the second one is this one. So this is for another writing task. I will let you read this one. Tip for activity 15. When you describe things, you need to give detailed information so that it will be more interesting. So this tip will give you some ideas. You can read, describe in your response.
Describe.
In your response.
Okay. Which page?
Page 127.
Oh yes. Describe in your response virtual persona, which may be first or third person, sees as they turn around in a room in which strange objects had been hidden away. Think about colors, shapes, and textures, as well as the sense of sight and smell to create an atmosphere of the fancy.
Fascinatingly
Exotic, everything needs to seem unusual out of this world to be observed, whatever they happen to be. Be careful that your piece doesn't become simply a list. You need to describe each object fully before moving on to the next. They need be There need be no connection between the objects, as a gesture contain random assortment of things which find themselves together by chance. It is a good idea to try to create some contrast and to include objects that one might not expect to find there to give an element of surprise and add interest.
You when you write a story, yeah, the previous questions, like it was a storehouse of an imagined treasures. First of all, you need to consider whether it is your experience, where you write about your experience or someone's experience. Depending on your imagination, you need to consider first or third person. First person pronoun means like I or we. Third person means you will put someone else, maybe John. Here in this story, Nicholas, something like that. So Nicholas, so you need to use he that way. You need to consider the personal. Well, you write with first person, I, we, or he, she. And also you need to consider colors, shapes, textures, as well as the senses of sight and smell. It means colors. When you describe things, you need to consider the colors as well as shapes, right? And also textures. Textures means rough, smooth, soft, something like that. And also the senses of sight. Yeah, there are many expressions that draw the attention of sight and smell. You can consider these things. And then you must describe things fascinatingly exotic. Fascinatingly means in an interesting way. You need to describe things in an interesting way, and it must be unusual. If it is usual, it won't be interesting. So whenever you describe it, you need to describe it strange, right? And interesting. Got it? You need to consider these things. Okay, that's all. Any question?
No,
Let's
Jack.
go on unit. What book? What book? Unit 8, what book? By the way, Unit 7 is finished, right?
Yes, Jack.
What book, Unit 7? Is it finished?
Yes, it finished.
Unit 8, page 52. I cannot open the book yet. I opening now. Please look at your book. Number 1, read.
Write Ransadas beasts introduced by the following metaphorical words or animal sounds and give them appropriate speakers.
For example, bellowed. Which animal can bellow? Which animal can bellow? Yung
Cow.
Yes, cow, especially buffalo. Buffalo can bellow. So here you are given the example. But you cannot use the animal. You must try to understand the meaning of bellowed, how to use bellowed for person. Here, the frustrated shop assistant suddenly bellowed. And you need to put this expression. I really wish you had made up your mind. It means that, the customer is choosing things a lot. And the shop assistant becomes frustrated. At the time, the shop assistant suddenly bellowed means say angrily. Instead of saying say angrily in simple way, you can use bellowed and you can put the suitable expression with a speech mark. Okay, do you know what to do?
Yes.
So how about squealed? First of all, how do you understand my squealed?
So sharp.
Hmm. Uh, so in which way are you going to use?
The car squealed to stop.
Hmm? Squeal can be
He squealed to tell friends.
first you need to check loud, 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 high pitched crying or noise. For person threatening, so how will you use? Piglets, the small pigs. The small pigs make that kind of sound too. But how about children?
Crying. The children are crying.
The children crying, the children loud noise, that is called squeals. For example, another example. The children squealed. Like this. The children squealed with joy. We win. That way, I want you to write. Yongke, do you understand? I
Yes,
don't
chị.
want you to write animals. I want you to write the appropriate speaker here. Words of animal sounds and give them appropriate speakers. So for example, the first one, assistant, shop assistant, said quite angrily. And the second one, the children squealed that way. How about his? How do you understand my his? How will you describe for his?
The cattle
Yeah, I know the meaning of his, but for the people,
of people.
his means that you are angry, but quite quietly. At that time, you say something. Say something in a quiet, angry way. Say something quiet, angry way. You know, someone is doing something badly. At the time, you are angry, and then but you said to that person, quite softly, not very loudly. So in this situation, you can use his. How will you say? Mom hissed. Mom hissed. Don't play with the vase. Don't play with the vase. Like this. Yongke, I have shown you is a mom.
Yes,
Do you know what to do? Do you know what to do?
yes.
It is your turn. You need to think for the others. And think number 2. It is another homework. Yongke, read the passage below. Put colons in the passage to show how they are used to introduce a list. Put semicolons in the passage to show how they are used to separate items in a list. So you need to put colons and semicolons. Can you do it?
Yes, chị.
So number 1, number 2, 1, 2, they are homework. You need to think ahead. By the way, page 64, number 4, about Mauritius. About this place in grade 7, you have already learned. Year 7, you have already learned.
Possible.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you don't remember, it's okay. Just try to understand this text. I will give you another writing task for number 4. But not for today is Thursday, right? Not
Yes.
for tomorrow. Not for tomorrow. On campus students, I let them do in the class. But for you, I will give you homework. So at the weekend, I will give you this homework. For the time being, please do homework for number 1 and number 2. Not a lot. Can you do
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes.
1 and 2. Because number 4, I will give you some ideas. So don't do yet. And go to number 6. Go to number 6. Number 6 is look closely at the picture below. Make notes of the features of the object. Do you see a picture of a cap?
Yes.
Yeah, you could see some pictures. And I will let you describe that picture. I will give you some expressions. but you have to describe that picture in detail. That will be another thing. So you can think ahead how to describe this picture. So I will summarize my lesson. I will let you do page 52 and 53 for homework. And also exercise book, very important writing.
Oh, yes.
200 words. So today I have given you a lot of homework. That writing, I want you to do it carefully because it is important for exam. You are preparing for exam. So the writing tasks from coursework is important. Before you do that, you need to do the exercises from workbook. After that, do that exercise from coursebook. You must hand in only one writing from coursebook. Okay?
Yeah.
The deadline will be next week, Monday. Right? Any question?
No.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.